enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Nothing compares to a quiet evening alone. Just the 1, 2. I was just counting on that never happened. I guess I'm dreaming again. Let's be more than this.
What's up, everybody? gilbertblaze here, back with another video, and I wanted to give and do a Raw review because I thought tonight's Raw was a really good show and a lot happened, and I wanted to talk about it and give my thoughts. So let's talk about the beginning of the show. Technical difficulties at its worst. I mean, I thought I was watching TNA for a minute. So it was extremely funny to see R-Truth talking, and his words were completely out of sync. And I'm sure, like, WWE production company was, like, shitting bricks. Like, they were fucking trying to, like, scramble and see what was, like, happening so they can fix the problem. So it went on for an actual couple of minutes until they finally fixed it when John Cena came in the ring. And it was funny because I was on Twitter talking with some friends, and they were like, well, Super Cena saved the day. And yep, Super Cena did. So the way they started off the show was extremely funny, and I just love the fact that R-Truth keeps starting off the show. They're really investing time for him to be one of the top heels on Raw, and I'm really digging it, and I love it, and I can't wait to see what goes on with his character more and more each week. So that sets up for tonight's main event, which is R-Truth versus John Cena. And so I was thinking for a minute at first, you know, I don't want to see this because I want to see this on a pay-per-view, but we'll talk about that match more later on. So, a lot more happened on Raw. Let's talk about CM Punk. So, when I heard CM Punk was fighting Rey Mysterio, I was thinking, okay, they're going to recycle an old feud here, and Rey Mysterio is going to go over. But to my pleasure, CM Punk won the match. Now, this is like back-to-back Raw where CM Punk has won a singles match. I haven't seen Punk with a winning streak in a really long time, so I'm really happy that he won, and it's great to see Mysterio lose. But we'll see what happens with that, because I don't think they're going to have a feud with them, but it just seems like it was like a random match to set up. But I'm just glad Punk went over, because Punk needs to start winning more matches because he's too damn good to be held down. But we all know the WWE politics backstage and why he's getting held down. So on to other news. I noticed that Dolph Ziggler, you know, changed his hair back to blonde, which is good because that whole brunette look he had was so generic. So glad that he's a blonde again. And him and Kofi Kingston had a really good match. For a Raw match, it was really good. This week's Raw had a lot of wrestling in it. Talk was there, but the wrestling matches were there as well to back it up, and I was really surprised to see that. So good for Raw for finally having some wrestling on the show. So they had a really good match, and I guess it's going to start up their rivalry again for the U.S. title, and that should be a good feud. But I hope they give it time and not give it like a 2-week feud, and that's it. Dolph Ziggler wins the U.S. title, and that's it for Kofi again, because it seems like Kofi can never get in like these long feuds. He keeps getting in these mini feuds on SmackDown or Raw, and then that's it. So hopefully they'll build something up for Kofi, and him and Dolph can have a really good rivalry again. Now, on to other news. The whole issue with the Big Show, Alberto Del Rio's gonna have, I guess, a feud with the Big Show. I'm not digging that. I don't like it. Alberto Del Rio is way better than the Big Show. He doesn't need to be in any kind of program with the Big Show. And I thought it was really tasteless and tacky. I forgot to talk about this last week, that how they did this whole car angle with Big Show getting run over, and then they talk about him being in the hospital and his well-being, and then they go cut through to a Randy Savage tribute. I mean, I thought that was really tacky right there, bad timing. I mean, Savage died in a car accident, and yet you put a fake car accident before you talk about Randy Savage. That just didn't make no sense there. But they're going to go along with the stupid storyline, and I really could care less about it. Alberto Del Rio is just going to be totally wasting away until, I guess, he has his championship match with John Cena. So, Raw was pretty interesting, and of course, I got to talk about Kharma. So, it was revealed, and I'm shocked, absolutely shocked, that the WWE let her speak her truth, because I thought the lame writers would come up with something stupid for her to tell us why she's leaving, WWE for a couple of months. But it turns out that she's going to be going for a whole entire year, and she is indeed pregnant. So all the rumors were answered. She is indeed pregnant. And, I gotta say, more power to her. You know, whether regardless if it was a planned pregnancy or not, you know, I can't, you know, fault her for wanting to have a child. You know, you can't fault her for wanting to have a child because it's her life, her business. But I still question the timing in this. I really do hope that they don't drop the ball with her, even though I don't want to say she made a mistake, but, you know, just bad timing here for her to be going for a whole entire year. You know, I know she's Triple H's project, and hopefully they'll keep her along, but I just have a bad feeling that she might get fired in a few months, or even worse, you know, when she gives birth, she might have a completely different outlook on life. I mean, that usually happens when a female gives birth to a child for the first time, and she may not want to wrestle ever again. She may want to stay full-time and be a mom to raise her kid. And, you know, a lot can happen in a whole entire year. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that she does come back in a year, bigger, stronger, and better. But the whole heel character, the monster heel push she was getting is completely done, over with. You can forget about her ever being a heel. I just don't see her being a heel because now people are going to see her as a mother, and it's going to be hard to convey her as a heel, even though it's going to be a whole year in advance and people may forget. But still, I just think her character is completely damaged and it might not be able to get rebuilt back up again. But that remains to be seen. A lot can happen in a month. I congratulate her and her partner, and if it is the boyfriend that she was with, because I actually seen her boyfriend at an ROH after party a couple of months ago, and they really seem to be in love and all over each other, and, you know, more power to them because they definitely look like they belong together. I won't judge them. But, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the whole entire year, and I'm really shocked and happy that WWE let her speak her truth. So that was a really good thing for them on their part, to let her speak her truth, because everyone knew online, on the internet anyway, that she was pregnant. So that's that. So let's talk about the main event. Oh, but before we talk about the main event, did anyone catch Zack Ryder backstage? How awesome is Zack Ryder? I can't say enough great things about Zack Ryder. He was in the middle of filming his internet show, which is absolutely great to watch. Watch it on YouTube. You know, he is like such an amazing talent on the rise, and I just see them really actually going to probably do big things for Zack Ryder in the future. I'm really keeping my fingers crossed for that because the man deserves it. He's getting a huge fan following. You see massive signs always in the crowd for him. People are popping hard for Zack Ryder, and they need to give this guy a push. He needs to be on Raw, wrestling on Raw, having a feud on Raw, and hopefully that happens. But it's so cool. He had like the internet title, and him and Cena seem to be friendly. So I totally was digging that. It was really cool. I like that. So now on to the main event, and this main event was like freaking classic. It was golden because it pretty much just solidified more and more of R-Truth heat to get his heel status up more and more. It completely played to his heel mode, and I love it because he owns now a count-out victory over John Cena, which is sweet because you know they're going to probably fight at the next pay-per-view now, or they may save it for SummerSlam, but I'm thinking the next pay-per-view they're going to fight, and this is going to be good to see. I want to see these two have like a decent rivalry, a feud. Maybe a month or two will be really sweet. But then again, you got to question yourself, what's going to happen with Alberto Del Rio? Is he going to face Cena at SummerSlam? Because I thought that was the original plans. But I think maybe with R-Truth getting such great heel reactions now that they might push it back where R-Truth gets the spot and has like a decent long feud with John Cena, which is what I would love to see. Imagine R-Truth as the heavyweight champion. That would be freaking crazy. No one would have ever thought that. But it's possible now because his character is getting stronger every week as a heel, and he really is getting a good reaction from the crowd. So, great Raw on all, and Evan Bourne actually won a match. Holy shit, Evan Bourne won a match. So, overall, it was a great Raw. Good talking, great matches. This is the type of Raw that we need to see every week, but we know this is not going to happen every week because they're so inconsistent. But this was a great Raw. Let me know your feedback. Let me know your thoughts. Tell me what you all think. Talk to you later. Peace.